Okay. First of all, Teresa, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do in your role.
Okay, my name is Teresa Polo. I work as operation geologist and the team leader for the geological operations for the Caribbean region in Houston for Repsol. So I manage the operation in the Caribbean, like Guyana, Colombia, Trinidad. So that's my role, and especially in this case, I was planning and following all the operations for Jaguar 1 well, which is a well drilled in 2012 in Guyana, which is a remote area. We follow from Houston, but we follow also from Guyana when we started the operations. I was based in Guyana and taking care of all the formation evaluation and obviously the well control operations and dealing with the drillers.
If I hold this there, can you see my outshot?
Good. Okay, so tell us, you've just been speaking at the conference. Tell us what your presentation was about.
My presentation was about Jaguar 1 HPHT lessons learned. We drilled Jaguar 1, but we couldn't reach the prognosed TD of the well, the prognosed total depth of the well, which was expected to be 21,435 feet. The main reason why we couldn't reach is because we had an unexpected high pore pressure. And my presentation was focused mainly to try to identify why we failed predicting the high pore pressure and why we obviously abandoned the well earlier than expected. It was for safety reasons. We had the well under control. We didn't have any influx from the well, but we didn't have any. The well design was not appropriate to continue with the pore pressure that we were seeing in the well.
A lot of people, when they are presenting at conferences and talking in general about things that their company have done, are not so honest about failure. Why be so honest?
Why? Because we already failed. I mean, this is something that we cannot say that, well, we almost reached TD or we almost did something. We failed. We didn't reach the top reservoir, and this is one of the things that we need to learn. What I'm very proud is that we did everything safety in a very safe way. So we managed to control the well as we were seeing what was happening, and this is the major lesson learned. I don't care if we didn't reach the reservoir or I didn't reach TD. We have major lessons learned, and now we have to learn why we failed and what we can do for the next well.
And why did you fail?
We failed because we didn't contemplate it. This is a wildcat, and we didn't contemplate the chemical compaction. We couldn't see the chemical compaction in the pore pressure prediction, so this is one of the major lessons learned that we have. It was difficult to see, so with this problem, the well design was completely not suitable for what we found in the well. Maybe we can have another lessons learned that could be more for the drillers, like have more options for more contingencies for the well. But for the reasons that are here, that is the geological operations, the pore pressure was not contemplating the highest, the worst case scenario, because that was the first well in the area that was drilled into the Middle Cretaceous.
How have you taken what you've learned from this forward into other HPHT drilling operations that you're currently doing?
Well, I have many lessons learned. Some of them are related to the tools and the operations, but major lessons learned from this well are the well control operation, how we did control the well, how we understood the well behavior, and how we understood how to work with this high pore pressure. And this is, I think, the successful of this well is like how we managed to have the well under control, and the communication, especially with the drillers and with the partners that were also involved in the decisions, and how to manage all this information around to try to identify what is happening actually and stop the well when we need to stop the well.
Do you think the focus on safety do you think you were more focused on safety because of what happened in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010?
For sure. Every time that we talk about HPHT or about any kind of problem in a well, we always talk about Macondo. And this is one of the reasons that every time that every seed that we see in the well, we relate to Macondo, and we try to have the equipment on board to try to identify and to do the proper way to do the things to avoid any second Macondo.
if you were going to, you just spoken to a room of 50, 60 people who do exactly the same thing that you do, what's your advice to those people who will be going from this conference today and taking what they learn over the next 2 days and applying that in the field to their HPHT projects?
Go for the higher technology. It doesn't matter the cost, it doesn't matter the time, but go for the higher technology that you can have at the rig site. This is something that I'm very proud, because we had whatever we needed to do in the well, we did it to understand, and we mobilized whatever we need to have the well control operation in place and to have all the formation evaluation in place. This is one of my lessons learned. And obviously to come to these kind of conferences that you see any other lessons learned that are happening in different areas. So this is also helping to understand each other. Now we talk about Macondo because it was in the news, but there are some other wells that they didn't finish like the Macondo, but we can see here because they finished well or they failed to reach TD, but they were in a safety way to do it. So for me, one of the lessons learned is go with the technology, try to understand what happened in the different wells, and obviously a good preparation for the well operations and for the well drilling operations.
Teresa, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Great, thank you very much.